these aren't the only passages that describe blasphemy. You remember that little horn of Daniel chapter 7. We read verse 25. And one of the characteristics of the little horn is that this horn speaks pompous words against the Most High. Daniel 7 verse 25, he speaks pompous words against the Most High. The question is, what are those pompous words that this little horn speaks? Revelation 13 verse 5 defines what those words are. It says in Revelation 13 verse 5 that the beast that comes from the sea was given a mouth that speaks great things and what? Great things and blasphemies. So what does the little horn speak? He speaks blasphemies. What does the beast speak? Blasphemies. Must that mean then that the little horn and the beast claim to have God on earth and claim to have the power to forgive sins and also perform many of God's other functions? Absolutely. But this isn't all. In Daniel chapter 8, we have something very, very interesting. And by the way, before we go to Daniel 8, let me just mention that in Daniel 7, this little horn also thinks that he can perform the works of God. Because it says that the little horn not only speaks blasphemies against God, but he actually thinks that he has power to change God's times and God's what? And God's holy law. In other words, he's not only claiming to be God, he's claiming to exercise the functions and the power of God. Then, of course, we have Daniel chapter 8. Daniel chapter 8 speaks also about a little horn. This little horn represents the same as the little horn of Daniel chapter 7. But the interesting thing is that in Daniel chapter 8, this little horn is not mentioned as speaking blasphemies against God. You know what the little horn does in Daniel chapter 8? This is extremely interesting. What the little horn does is he tries to supplant the prince of the host. Do you know who the prince of the host is? The prince of the host is Jesus Christ. You can read, for example, Joshua chapter 5 and verses 13 through 15, where the same expression, prince of the host, is used. And you're going to find that the prince of the host is none other than Jesus Christ. And so in Daniel chapter 8, we're told that the little horn was going to try and take away the functions of Jesus defined as the daily. Do you know what the daily is? I wish I had time to give a whole lecture on the daily. The daily has to do with the functions that the priest performed in the court and in the holy place. The sacrifice in the court was to be offered morning and evening, daily. The lamps in the holy place were to burn daily. The bread was to be there daily. And the incense, which represents the prayers of the saints, was to go up daily or continually. In other words, the little horn was going to take away from Jesus these functions, and he was going to appropriate these functions to himself. He was going to think that he could occupy the place of Jesus Christ.